All right, all right. What is going on? Good to be here with you again today, as always. I love doing these. Love just hanging out um, and chatting about cool things. But let's talk about just what it means to be the leader in your market, in your niche. What it and this is as always. This is really for you if you're here to make a difference, right? If you're here to share your passion, share your gift, live your purpose and make a positive impact, leave a legacy. It's the key to really doing that is to stand out as the leader in your niche, the leader in your field, in your market. And the key to doing that is your personal brand, because your personal brand is out there working for you all the time. It's what people connect with. People don't connect with they don't connect with things that they don't know, that they don't understand, right? None of us do. So the power of branding is it creates a proxy for the human relationship, right? And why a proxy is because we're looking for the actual human relationship, the actual human connection. I think now more than ever, with the way the world is, people want actual, real, true human connection now more than ever. Which, by the way, if you want to connect with me and the other, and more like-minded, mission-driven entrepreneurs, join the Unshakable Network. It's a private community where we can support each other, grow together, and nothing when things really go to the next level is in community, is in group, is in practice. We can talk about the ideas, but the implementation happens with the osmosis of being part of a group that is there on a singular focus and direction with you. When you're part of that, it carries you forward and you're able to uplift others. It's a powerful thing. So join the network. Love to see you there. Link is at unshakable.pro. All right. So becoming the leader in your niche, though, right? And the key to doing that is a standout personal brand. What is a personal brand? It's a reflection of you. It's the extension of you into the market so that people can connect with you, because that's why people follow you. And that's why people will buy from you, is because they connect with you. So it's all about really being an authentic reflection, an extension of yourself into the marketplace, so that people know what they're connecting with and who they're connecting with, right? And they form that connection, the relationship. So the personal brand has to be based on who you are. And the real three keys, the three questions to really be that I find most coaches are asking themselves, thought leaders, authors, speakers, is who am I? What's my message? What do I offer? And I have a program. I work closely with my clients to answer those three questions. When you answer those three questions, you're able to have a really truly standout powerful brand, and more importantly, make a more powerful impact. So let's look at it, right? Who am I? We all know who we are, right? You're here because you've already developed yourself, but now it's time to take that to the next level and really be, the more that you dive into that question and discover yourself, connect with yourself more deeply, the more others are able to connect with you more deeply and clearly and powerfully. You know, it's one of these things where it can never be understated, you know, um, because losing my train of thought a little bit here, but the main point is just that when you connect with yourself, when you share yourself authentically in the marketplace, that's truly magnetic as well. Because again, we want to connect with real. You know, the one of the biggest sins of brands that I see, personal brands, is that people are trying to be something, or they're trying to copy some other brand and apply it to themselves. And it's the classic fitting a square peg into a round hole. It doesn't work. You know, you don't need to be extra gregarious. You don't need to I've been to so many conferences where people are like, you got to raise your energy and be like super high energy. It's not if it's not authentic to who you are. Just show up with your natural energy. You should be operating in a positive state, right, in an uplifted state, and sharing something good. You don't come in feeling all down and depressed. Now, if you're struggling with depression and all that, then yeah, then seek out help and get the proper resources. But you know what I mean? Like when you're coming and showing up to support others, then yeah, you bring your authentic energy. You don't bring the gregarious energy that somebody somewhere says that's the way you should show up as a great speaker or whatever, right? I listen to a lot of speakers and it's just cringy because you can tell they're trying to craft something and be somebody, and it's just be you. So that's the real key to everything, is it's all there within you, right? Your brand is carries you into the market, essentially. All right, to just put it simply, it's just like it carries you into the market and shares you with the market nonstop on social media while you're asleep. Your brand is engaging with other people because other people are able to engage with your brand and take the next step, follow you, engage with you, and ultimately sign on to work with you, right? Because of your brand. So it carries you into the market. And the beautiful thing here is it's already there within you, right? What your mission, your purpose, your values, your vision, your gift is all you. So it's not like there's something to build or craft. It's just developing. Or I love the Latin root of the word education is educo, which means to educe from within. So that has the presupposition that you already have everything you need within you, which is exactly where I come from. That's my whole coaching philosophy. You already have everything. Excuse me. You already have everything you need. It's just a matter of unlocking it. Unlocking your confidence. Confidence, the root of that word confide, means understanding. So when you understand yourself, you step into your confidence, authentic, natural confidence that emanates into the market and is magnetic and attracts people to you. So that's your identity. Who am I? Just being true to yourself. And that's magnetic. That attracts the right people. Because if you're not being true to yourself, what's going to happen is you're going to attract the wrong people because they're coming to you expecting something different, and it's going to embed conflict or tension into further relationships because it's just always the conflict of it's a drain of energy. It takes in a tremendous amount of energy to uphold a mask, an identity that's not true or authentic, right? But when you step into your authentic self, your authentic identity, and you share that authentically, what happens is it actually amplifies your energy. Because instead of spending your expending energy on a false conflict, it restores your energy, and that's when things happen exponentially, right? It's truly transformative. So that's what I love about my work and the work that I do with clients is it has deeply transformative effects on their entire life. And we build out the cool business side of the strategies, like what's your content, what message are you sharing, what's your offer, all those cool things too, which leads to business results and more sales and more followers, all that, which is great. But the real reason that I do this, right, what's going on underneath it all is the transformation, is unlocking human potential so that you can step into and live your dream, live your purpose, and impact the lives of others. And that happens when you're being your authentic self, right? Because the power, the energy, the confidence is already there within you. It's a matter of unlocking it. And I believe that an effective personal brand does that. It draws out the best in you, right? And it's not in a fake way. Never. It's actually the process. The beautiful part of this process is you actually step into the best you and share that, right? Imagine that. Let that sink in for a moment. Like when you step into that better version, the up-leveled version of yourself, what does that look like? And that's the exciting part is like we start that process right now on this live as you're listening, watching me. You can start the process now is picture that. What is that next level? Who is that more ideal, right? Who is that you long to be? It's who you already are. That's the beauty and the power of this. It's not something outside of you, it's something within you. It's a matter of removing the layers so that you can be what you already are. Interesting dynamic. I'm deeply fascinated by it. It's an eternal, ongoing journey of, we call it self-development, but I look at it as self-discovery so that you can be. So it's no longer about what do I need to do, it's who do I need to be, and more accurately, who am I already, right? So when you can step into that place of being, as the verse says in scripture, be still and know that I am God. So there's something powerful and profound in the beauty of stillness. We encounter God. In stillness, we're able to be present to ourselves and present to God and thus present to inspiration. And then the action will take place. It'll reveal itself. And then it's time to act, right? There's always the time to act, but it's not always. So we step out of a place of hustle and grind and step into aligned and inspired action when you step into your true identity, which is all part of the process of personal branding, the power of it. So I love this. All right, so message. What do I say? What's my message? Right. Your message is deeply powerful because then it takes this and gives it a voice. You take your identity and you give it a voice. And what is that voice? What is that message you're sharing with the world? Because the beauty of when you develop and craft your message deeply and powerfully, what happens is it already is making that impact for you, right? It's the messenger, the message, right? So it already is the precursor of the transformation that you bring, probably through your work, through your coaching, however you're facilitating, right? You can share that transformation in advance with your message by the power of your message, right? And a message, once again, the message is aligned with who you are. So that's why it always starts with who am I? And it's not right, it's always the next level. Who am I? Who am I? So you step into yourself, and from that aligned comes your message, your voice. So if you're struggling with your message, the fix isn't more content and the fix isn't a better content strategy. The fix is to align, reconnect, because so often what I encounter is somebody ends up with a brand that feels hollow, or the message or the content that they're just copying the latest trending, you know, um, gimmick on social media, like, oh, peeling a banana and staring into the distance is doing well, so I'm going to make that. Why that? Stupid, I don't like to see that. Why? Because then we're just chasing trends. To become a leader, you're not chasing the trends, you're setting the trend. And it's not even about trends, it's about just making an authentic impact, not just chasing the tail of whatever the latest, greatest social media trend is to try to get more views. I don't care. I want to connect with you, right? I want to build an authentic connection in a relationship. So I'm going to show up as myself, and I'm not going to try to hack the system with some kind of, right? Now, am I going to set myself up for success? Of course, but I'm not here to chase the trends, right? And so there's my little rant. But the point is your message is a way of sharing that. When you're in this for if you're in this for impact, you want to change people's lives. The power of a great message is you can help people make a shift of belief, right? Shift in their mind, which is going to lead to a shift in their behavior and the shift in their life, which is going to change their life. All that can happen by simply hearing someone's message. And when you're the person that gets to share that message that somebody hears and changes their life because of hearing your message and receiving it and making that shift, that's powerful, that's profound, and that's fulfilling for us, right? As the creators, as the coaches, as the thought leaders, that's what we live for, right? When you're like me and you know that, like, you have that calling, you have that gift to share, nothing is more fulfilling than actually sharing it, right? And so the money that we make in our businesses, I'm never going to say I'm not in it for the money. I don't believe in that stance, because the money's part of it, but the ultimate goal is really to share the gift, right? And that's the beauty of it. When you align your business properly, making money is a natural consequence. It's no longer the focus. So, and that's part of the thing where I think things get off, is like, what is the primary focus? It's really important to be aligned, and that's part of alignment. It doesn't mean that something is cast out or put away. It just means that it's put in its proper order. It's put in its proper place. And when that happens, it's like a machine. When a gear is out, right? It's rattling, it's grinding, and then you put the gears into their proper place and it hums beautifully. Now, I'm a little bit of a weird nerd that way, because I think that that's a beautiful thing. But if you know what I mean, you know the feeling, right? When a machine just hums. But it's like that for us. When we're aligned, it's just like your energy is just, has that beautiful sound and feeling to it, where you're flowing effortlessly through your day in your work. So you're engaged with the work, but it's not a grind. You're not pushing. If you're pushing, there's something off. And it always is a symptom of going back to the prime mover, which is that first question: who am I? Am I aligned? Am I honoring myself? Am I true to my purpose? Am I true to my calling? Am I speaking authentically? Or am I just putting out content for the sake of content? right? Because then it's not a message issue, it's an identity issue. Everything becomes an identity issue. And when you up level your identity, your the world shifts around you. You're the prime mover of your experience, of your reality. So that's the power of shifting and up leveling your identity. And up leveling, again, the beauty of it is not always that we're going, it's more that going inward, deeper, a deepening of your identity, connecting with yourself more truly, because it's like a spring, a mountain spring. The deeper down we dig into that spring, the more water comes out, the more crisp, clean, beautiful mountain spring water is coming out, right? The deeper into the source you get. Same with you. Your message flows from you. So the more you deepen that connection, deepen into that source, the more you're going to flow and the more authentically it will flow and the more people will be drawn to it. That's another question sometimes. It's like, well, man, I've got this great spring, but like, don't I need to like run ads or do something so that people know? People always find a spring. You know what I mean? We're always looking for fresh water. So you just become that source. And when you work with me, we work on the strategies to make sure that that gets multiplied as well, so that your audience is always expanding, because that is important, right? Share what your gifts, share the message. And so that's part of it. Message is, what is your message? What do you say? And then how are you sharing it? How are you sharing that? But the most beautiful thing is when you're really aligned, it's no longer like, it's no longer the struggle of this push of like, oh, how do I work with the algorithm and the SEO to try to, well, yeah, if you've got a crappy message, you've got to work really hard on all the other layers to share it, right? Because, and maybe it's not crappy, it's just not really authentic. So it's not really flowing, it's something more forced. Well, then you have to force all the rest of it. You have to force the algorithm, you have to force the SEO, right? But if it's flowing from you naturally and effortlessly, then the rest of that will flow naturally and effortlessly too. You put some work in and it's great, but the return is exponentially greater, right? So there's always more we can do, but the return, it's about how much does this respond to me? And if it's not responding well, it's because I'm not in the right state. I'm not in the right place. So everything comes back to you. You are the key. You are the source, the cause of your success. And the calling that you feel, the desire that you feel is all right, it's already there latent within you. That's the dream, the calling, the purpose. And the fact that you're watching this means that you share that sense of longing, desire to live into your calling at a greater level, to a greater degree, to share your message to a larger audience, to impact more lives, right? To share your gift. That's what drives me, is I want to share the gift because the gift has been given. I've received this gift. I didn't make it up. You didn't choose your gift. I didn't choose my gifts. I'm just responsible for how I use them, right? Don't go bury your talents. That's what sunk in for me very deeply in my journey, is that parable of, in the gospel where these three men are given talents, which is money, right? A currency. But it's interesting because in our modern English, that word talent means, right, what are you good at? Your skills, your talents, your gifts. And they're given that and told to go make a return on it. And one of them goes and buries it in the ground because he's resentful, he's bitter. And I realized so much in my life I was doing that, spitting in the face of God by burying my talents and not sharing, because it's not for me, it's for others. It's to be shared with you, with those of you who are ready to take your business and take your calling, take your purpose, and share it at a greater level. That's what you're the one my gift is for. It's not for me. It's the irony. But you probably share that feeling yourself. You resonate with that feeling because you know that your gift as well is meant to be shared. And that's in the word gift. It is given and meant to be given. So we're here to share our gifts. So finally, offer. What do I offer? Right? When you know who you are, you step into the truth of your authentic, confident identity, and you share your message. So if people are flocking, right, you're growing an audience. Now what? Right? It's simple math equation on some level. Hey, now what? Great, people are following me, right? You got an Instagram following, a TikTok following, wherever you're on social media, your YouTube channel, whatever. You've got a following. What do you do? Now what? Right? I mean, you can hope to get monetized, sure. But once again, you're here to share your gift. So how do you do that? Well, you do that with a great offer, you know? And if you've got like if there's something cringy around that word, let's work on that, right? It's time to realize, and let's shift that right now. Your offer is just that, it's how you share the gift, right? It's like if you spread a feast, you want people to come and partake of your feast, you know? So that's the thing. Your offer is just that, offering. It's a gift. It's to be shared. So how do you share your offer, right? It's a matter of saying, right, so your message alone is already value. So offer is offering greater value, offering the next step in the journey of transformation, which your message, your identity, everything. When you do this aligned work, when you build that aligned brand, it all speaks for itself louder than words, because your message is the verbal part of it, right? What do we put into words? Which is on the border of the rational and the subconscious, because the way I do it is we weave story into it, and story is very profoundly speaks to the subconscious as much as it speaks to the mind, and when you have to be engaging both. But what really moves us as human beings is down here in our heart, in our subconscious being, in the emotional layers, right? And what in the power of effective branding is it can speak to that louder than words without words. Okay, so where am I going with all that? I lose my own train of thought very easily because I'm all over the place. So that drives you nuts. Don't watch me. Um, that's part of my brand, part of who I am for sure. But anyway, so offer though, right? So how do you weave that all into an offer? Because once again, you're here to share your gifts. How are you going to do that? Well, it becomes reverse engineering. Well, what is that transformation you stand for? So really, it just comes back to, which is part of your identity. What do you stand for? Right? For me, once again, it's about unlocking potential, empowering you to step into your authentic confidence. And I do that through personal branding. Why? Because it's got a lot of other benefits to it as well, because it helps you share your message and grow your business. So there's a lot of additional benefits, but the core, the root, the fulcrum of the whole thing is personal empowerment, right? Stepping into the truth of who you are. When you do that, everything else flows. So you build an offer around that. That's what I've done. I've built an offer around that. And it's taken me several years to figure that out, because I've done sales, copywriting, marketing, general business, mindset, right? And I've looked at it all and I'm like, what does all of this have in life coaching? What does this all have in common? The common theme took me longer than it needed to. And that's why I do this work now, is because I can help you collapse this time and do it very, in a much shorter period of time, really get crystal clear, and clarity breeds confidence, and confidence leads to results, right? Confidence is power, is energy, and it just supercharges everything that you're doing when you do it with confidence and clarity and focus. So for me, it was this discovery of like, duh, it all has to do, everything hinges on personal empowerment. All of my work always focused on, when I was just doing business, just like kind of boring, just business, let's look at profitability and like systems and all these things, trying to be just as mundane almost as possible there for a while, as I was just sorting through some things in my own journey, and trying to simplify it and just make it practical, just practical. And I realized even there, I could not escape my own calling. I could not escape my own gifts. Were always coming out, right? Clawing around the corners, coming through the cracks in the wall, which was, it's not the business, it's the person. And when I help the person step into their confidence and their power and their calling and their purpose, all of that, the business flows. Can it use some operational tweaks? Yes. But those things are way harder to do when the person is in the way, when the person is in conflict, out of alignment. The entrepreneur, the leader, right? So we bring you into alignment and everything else flows. It's funny, the food dye on my fingertips shows up when I do that. I was just making homemade Play-Doh with the kit. Well, I didn't make it, but I added the coloring to it earlier, so that's why I have pink fingertips. Um, Anyway, so yeah, stepping into your power. So all this back to offer. How do you craft an offer? Well, I'm sharing with you exactly the at a high level of the process is just looking, what do you stand for? Which, so everything again hinges on, who am I? That question, you answer that. You dig deeper into your own identity, and then you look at your message, and it just hinges on all of those pieces. You just reverse engineer. Well, if this is the transformation that I stand for, how do I facilitate that? And do it in such a way that I look forward to offering it, right? That I love to deliver, that clients love to engage with and to receive. So it becomes this win-win, and bonus points when you can make it kind of scalable in a way that you can actually increase value and decrease price. That's an awesome place to be. And that's what I've done with my offer. So I'll get right to that in just a moment. I'd love to share a little bit more about that. But it's a sweet spot to find that when you can decrease your price and increase your value, right? Why? Because now all of a sudden it's more desirable. And that's really the key. An offer is an invitation. So I don't look at pitching, I look at invitation. Would you like to join me? Would you like to do this? Would you like to collapse time? Would you like to accelerate your growth, right? Would you like to stand out in the market and really share your gift and your message in an authentic and powerful way, and grow your business and increase your income, because you deserve to. It's part of this. It's part of why you did this, right? A driver for me, one of my driving values is freedom. I want a business that empowers freedom, enables freedom. I'm driving for financial freedom, right? And I'm seeking to empower others to live in freedom. And freedom comes from within. And then we build systems around us as well that reflect that freedom, but it all starts in here. So it's all hinges on personal empowerment. So your offer, when you craft it in that way, it's this win-win-win. It's this incredible uplift, a rising tide, So and that's when you can, if you've, like me, you've had a struggle, because I struggle deeply with this fear of sales, this fear that like somehow I'm taking advantage of people. Aren't I taking their money? Shouldn't I just like, like it's one of these awful mindset kind of things that come, that really false, a limiting belief, a limiting fear, which is that like, well, if you have a gift, you have to like struggle financially, right? Because it's wrong to make money doing what you love, right? There's some really convoluted crap that used to live in my head, which thankfully is mostly gone. And now there's new things that I encounter, because it's a cyclical, fractal, ongoing journey of this growth, of self-development, as I said, self-discovery, and discovering the things that are not true to you. That's how I look at this. It's not a limiting belief. As a great teacher has said, a belief gives it too much credit. It's a fear, something that holds you back, right? But ultimately, it's not true to who you are. That's the real key with this self-discovery. You're discovering the false concept of self that is not true. And if it's not true, it's not serving you, right? It's not what's meant to be. So you find the truth. The truth is, you are meant to prosper. You're right. You are meant to be blessed and abundant in the sharing, because there's more than enough. When you share, others are benefiting, they're receiving, they have more, they have abundance to also share with you. So it can be this wonderful, what's the term I'm looking for? It's win-win, but it's something that's equivalent, right? And so again, though, a great offer is one where the value is high and you can actually drop the price so that it's right. So, and that's all that to say. So I have a group, the Visionary Leaders Branding Academy. We're launching on May 8th, going through this process, exactly what I've been sharing with you, is a small coaching group cohort. So we're going to be working together to do this. So you have this opportunity to work with me. If what I'm talking about resonates, if you're here and you're saying, yes, I'm ready to share my gift with a larger audience, I'm ready to step into my power, my confidence in a whole new level, right? You're here because you already have. Now let's take it up a notch. Let's up level your identity, magnify your message, right? Craft it in such a way, because it's already there. It's about unlocking it and ordering it, putting it the right pieces in place so that it is truly magnetic. So it will expand your audience, and then craft that powerful offer, right? That next level offer that's going to excite you and excite your audience and sell like crazy without you having to sell. All of that. And we're going to be working through this process because of a system for this that I've developed over these years of working with clients and people. And that system, we're going to be covering this in 8 weeks. And I'll be providing additional implementation coaching for 4 weeks after that. So 90 days total of this container of coaching, of in-depth private coaching, my ongoing support, a community of others. We already have five others right now, and you. So we're growing, and we're launching May 8th. So I would love to, if this is resonating with you, then we should talk more about this. And one of the easiest, simplest ways you can get started is just comment brand down below, and I'll reach out to you. We'll have a conversation. If you want to also go to unshakable.pro, there's a link there that has the details for the program. So you can go read about it, see what's included, see what we're covering, look at the pricing, see if it makes sense for you, and we can take the next steps from there, right? But this is my invitation for you. If you're ready to do this and get it done, collapse time is powerful because you can step into this now. And I'll be sharing some really powerful principles and techniques in that. It's collapsing time isn't just about productivity. It's about being now, being the future self now. And that's part of the key of identity is you step into that already. And what happens is it accelerates your results. So I'm very much looking at what are the practical, pragmatic aspects of this, and also what are the more metaphysical, spiritual aspects of this, because we're a holistic being. And your business is a reflection and an extension of yourself, right? And when it comes down to personal branding, you need a holistic approach of discovering yourself and sharing that authentically with the marketplaces. And what that does is just amplifies your results, right? Because like I said, your brand is working 24/7. The question becomes, is it working for you or against you, right? And because if your brand isn't developed, it's misrepresenting you, right? And that might just be because of our own, like I look back at my branding as I've gone, and I know that I've made this mistake. That's why, anyway, it just, but part of what's given me the education. It's just looking back and realizing, man, there's times I've shared things that were not authentic or were out of alignment or whatnot, right? Or just the struggle of like, what content do I make, and showing up and talking in a way that was so fake, so inauthentic, and knowing inside myself, I'm like, I have so much, I can do so much better. I can be so much more. I have so much more to share and to offer. And here I am, and it's a disservice to myself, it's a disservice to my audience, right? And that's the way I look at it. That's the way I approach this. Is it's calling. It's much more than just, I'll think about it, sounds nice, kind of like a hobby, right? Calling is purpose. It's like when you get to that place of, I cannot live without doing this, I cannot live without sharing my gift, because to share your gift is to truly live. That's the power, right? That's next level, just game changer, right? When you truly live. And how many people are truly living? That's the tragedy of the world. So many people are not. They're living a half-life. They're living a shell. They're living this husk existence. The dream is dead. So why bother? Well, I just do what I should do. I hate that. And I know that's not for you either. So let's live our purpose, live our calling together, And so if this resonates with you, again, go to unshakable.pro. I've got the link there. It says the details for the Visionary Leaders Branding Academy. Click that, or just comment brand, and I'll connect with you in Messenger or wherever we're at, and let's just have a conversation, right? And see if this is the right fit. See if this makes sense. See if this is going to solve the problems or the challenges you're facing. See if this will take you to the next level, take your business to the next level, so you can share your message at a grander level and make a bigger, right? Ultimately, really tap into yourself and share those gifts more authentically. That's the power. That's what matters. What connects. You know, um, just think of electrical. Sorry, I have like this weird engineering side of me, engineering background. So, but anyway, electromechanical engineering and working on machines and systems and electrical systems, right? If the connection's not there, the electricity doesn't flow, the energy doesn't flow. So it's just about making the connection in you, in your business. And when that happens, and it's a lot of times between who you are, what your vision is, and what your message, like just connecting all these things, bringing that alignment. It's like your spine. When your spine's out of alignment, what happens? Oh, my back's killing me, right? Got to go to the chiropractor. What's the chiropractor do? Brings your spine back into alignment. So this is chiropractic for your brand, right? Let's bring it into alignment. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up here. Really appreciate you spending the time with me listening to this. It's my passion to share this with you and just ultimately just empower you to live into your purpose and your calling and share your gift with the world. So thanks for watching this. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. If you want to learn more about Visionary Leaders Branding Academy, yes, let's work together, right? If this resonates with you, then we should work together. If you're ready to share your gift in a bigger way, make a bigger impact, let's work together. Let's do this. Just comment brand or go to unshakable.pro, hit that link with the program details. It'll tell you next steps there too. Thanks for watching this. I'm gonna go take a walk. I think my boy was knocking at the door, which I locked so that he's not jumping in. Yeah, so I'm gonna go take a walk with the fam now.